The last lesson. Once upon a time, in a small village, there lived a young boy named Timmy. Timmy was a new English learner, and he was very excited to go to school every day. One day, Timmy's teacher, Mrs. Smith, told the class that they would have their last English lesson. Timmy was surprised and a little sad because he enjoyed learning English. Mrs. Smith explained that they were moving to a new place, and there would be a new school. Timmy felt a bit scared about starting over in a new school. The last lesson was all about learning the alphabet. Mrs. Smith showed the class big, colorful letters and told them the names of each letter. Timmy liked the letter A the most because it was the first letter of his name. He smiled when he saw it on the board. Next, Mrs. Smith taught the class some simple words like cat, dog, and sun. Timmy repeated the words after her and tried to say them correctly. The class practiced saying the words together, and it was a lot of fun. Timmy felt proud when he said the words correctly. Then, Mrs. Smith gave each student a small book with colorful pictures and simple English sentences. Timmy's book had a picture of a happy family. Timmy looked at the picture and tried to read the words in his book. He was getting better at reading, and it made him feel happy. After the lesson, Mrs. Smith gave Timmy and his classmates a piece of paper with their names on it. She told them to keep it as a reminder of their last English lesson with her. Timmy carefully folded the paper and put it in his pocket. He didn't want to forget this special day. The next day, Timmy and his family moved to their new home in a different village. Timmy was nervous about going to the new school, but he remembered the English lessons he had with Mrs. Smith. Timmy's new teacher, Mr. Johnson, welcomed him to the class. Timmy felt a bit shy and missed his old friends from the village. As the days went by, Timmy made new friends at his new school. He learned more English words and practiced speaking English every day. Timmy remembered the alphabet and the simple words he had learned from Mrs. Smith. He felt grateful for the lessons that prepared him for this new adventure. One day, Timmy saw a familiar face in the new village. It was Mrs. Smith. She had moved to the same village and was teaching at a school nearby. Timmy was overjoyed to see his old teacher. He ran up to her and gave her a big hug. Mrs. Smith was happy to see Timmy too. She asked him how he was doing in his new school. Timmy proudly told her that he had learned more English and had made new friends. He showed her the piece of paper with his name that she had given him on the last day of school. Mrs. Smith smiled and told Timmy that she was proud of him. She said that she would be his teacher again and help him learn even more English. Timmy felt very lucky to have Mrs. Smith as his teacher once more. He knew that he had a friend who believed in him and would help him become a great English speaker. From that day on, Timmy continued to learn English with Mrs. Smith. He worked hard, and his English improved a lot. As he grew older, Timmy realized that the last lesson with Mrs. Smith was not really the end. It was just the beginning of his journey to learn and speak English well. Timmy never forgot the simple lessons he learned in his first English class. He was grateful for Mrs. Smith's guidance, and he knew that learning a new language could open up many opportunities in life. And so, Timmy's English journey continued, and he became a confident English speaker, all because of the last lesson that started it all.